Hello and thanks for watching. Let me walk you through a situation you may well encounter. You're at home, perhaps unwinding after a long day, when you suddenly hear raised voices next door, shouting, screaming, and then something breaking. And you find yourself wondering, is everything okay? Is someone being hurt? Should I step in? I get it. These are not easy questions. But with millions of women experiencing domestic violence every year, it's sadly likely that someone in your building or on your street or in your neighborhood may well be going through this right now. Of course, where you live makes a massive difference. If you live in a flat or apartment, for example, you're way more likely to overhear or notice something. In more remote areas, you might see fewer signs, of course. But in any settings, recognizing the warning signs of domestic abuse or domestic violence, shouting, repeated disturbances, clear signs of distress, is quite important, I believe. But to be clear, helping a neighbor in this situation doesn't have to involve confrontation, physically engaging with a threat, or even putting yourself in danger and harm's way. It simply means being thoughtful, observant and compassionate. And one thing is really important to understand and remember: you cannot rescue someone from abuse. It's really important to understand. You cannot make decisions for them. But what you can do is create an opening, a space where they feel seen, supported, and not totally alone. If you feel safe and come across your neighbor while checking the post or in a communal space, you might simply say, "Hi, are you okay?" But whilst doing so, seek eye contact. Let your body language make a clear statement. I really care. I really would like to know. I will take the time to hear your answer, and I won't judge you, I promise you. But only do that if the partner is 100% not around, and if it is 100% for them in that moment. If they start to open up, you might ask whether they have spoken to anyone about what's happening, or whether they would want you to check in again at some point in the future. But please, don't pressure them. Abuse is rooted in control, and what survivors need most is to feel respected and empowered. Your role is simply to offer support, not instructions or ultimatums, or even make decisions for them. You might also consider sharing resources. If there's a chance to talk privately, you can mention the name of a support organization which will offer practical advice, maybe a local support organization. If direct contact isn't possible, there are discreet ways to help, such as suggesting posters in communal areas or even placing totally informational, innocent cards into neighbors' mailboxes so that nothing looks targeted. At that moment, if you hear a violent incident and it feels safe, there are subtle ways to interrupt. Knocking the door and asking to borrow something, or state if they have seen a missing parcel. All you want to do is create just enough of a distraction, just enough to pause the abuse. But only do this if you're 100% confident it won't place you or any other person in danger. There may be times when you fear for your neighbor's safety, and in some cases, calling the police may feel necessary. If at all possible, it's really the best to ask the survivor beforehand how they feel about that. But if you cannot, and you believe someone is in serious danger, use your best judgment. Ultimately, it is you who has to live with the decision you make. Personally, I always feel it is good to at least try to save a person's life before it is too late. rather than making regrets later. You can also keep a record of what you've seen or heard, like dates or times or any details really. This may become useful evidence if your neighbor later seeks help or seeks legal protection or wants to take legal action. And don't forget to look after yourself. Supporting someone who may be experiencing abuse can be emotionally draining. It really can. So please speak to someone you trust if you need to. Your well-being matters too. Okay, thank you for watching. But please be so good and check out the description to my video here, where I've added links to additional resources. And also subscribe to my Women's Safety YouTube channel if you like. Take great care of yourself, and all the best. Bye-bye.